I'm about to say something that may feel like a punch in the gut, but the type of business owner who is quietly passing $20,000 per month in their business may be executing on an entirely different game plan than what you've been using, especially when it comes to how they're using digital products to grow their business. There's an old way and there's a new way. And with the old way, I made millions of dollars, but it stopped working. And so now I've made tens of thousands of dollars with the new way, and I'm helping business owners just like you to make this shift so that you don't get left behind and all of your hard work doesn't go to waste. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lili, and if you've been here before, welcome back. I started out my journey online by documenting building a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio on my first YouTube channel. And then I started working with other businesses to help grow their content and helped my very first client go from 121 subscribers all the way up to over 240,000, which now drives traffic to his #1 ranked school community. If you're trying to sell low-ticket digital products as the main revenue driver in your business, there are 3 traps that I want to talk about today and help you to avoid. The first of these traps is what I call the numbers trap. And I have often shared how I made a lot of money selling a low ticket $7 digital product. Here's a screenshot where you can see that we sold 2,865 units of this $7 PDF and made over $20,000 on that. And that is a lot of money to be made on low ticket products. It absolutely does work. But a piece of context that I always want to share is that the bulk of these sales happened during a time period where in 2022, I did almost 4 million views in a single year. And so the numbers trap is that most people don't understand how small of a percentage of your audience is actually going to purchase anything from you, whether it's high ticket or not. So during this time period, I had 2,865 customers purchase that $7 ebook, and that was from about 1.95 million viewers, because every view wasn't from a new person. Most people are coming back to your channel. So I split my view number in half in order to get the number of people that are buying from me, right? And so of that, just 0.14% of people who saw my channel actually became buyers. And this was during a time in 2022 when more people were buying things like digital products or ebooks because we didn't have things like ChatGPT or Claude to give us the information. And so we went to creators to get them in the form of digital products. But that's not to say that digital products don't work at all right now. They just work a little bit differently. And in a moment, I'll show you a digital product that is low ticket that we're actively selling right now. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I invite you to claim one of our free business boosters. These are 4 one-day business boosters that we hold inside of our school community, and they usually sell for $297 each. You can see here that we have one on AI workflows for entrepreneurs, one that is on content creation, it's our YouTube Quick Start course, one that is on business fundamentals, the business school, and one that is on cash flow management and helping you get your business bank account set up and automated properly. So like I said, each one of these sells for $297, but right now you can pick one and get it completely for free when you join our school community and come to our free financial freedom masterclass. So there's a link in the top comment for you to come to this page right here, join the community for free, and then DM us and let us know which of the 4 business boosters you would like to claim for free. So back in 2022, we had about 0.14% of our audience end up buying a low ticket digital product, but we are still selling low ticket products. Here's a look at my TikTok analytics. So you can see that my TikTok actually focuses on different hobbies that I have, one of them being Rubik's Cubes. And since the beginning of the year, so just right here around January 1st, we've done 32 million views. And remember I said every viewer isn't an individual person. Most people are going to come back to your channel more than once. So you can't really count every individual as a potential customer or buyer. And that's seen here in this screenshot, which shows you how many viewers we had during that time. Even though we had 32 million views, that's from about 15 million total viewers. So what's the low ticket digital product that we sell to the TikTok audience? So right here, it's a cheat sheet or 1-page guide on how to do the beginner's method. And I've actually made it a pay what you want product so people can download it for $0, but a good amount of people do decide to pay a certain amount. So you can see here, we've had 1,238 unique customers and $625 that has come in from people deciding that they want to pay for this product. So if we do the same type of numbers, those 1,238 customers are coming from 15 million viewers. So even more views, but still a very, very small percentage of people that actually go from being just a viewer to being a buyer. It was just 0.008% if my math is correct. But here's the thing, I am not living off of this $625. It is not the main revenue driver in my business because I understand the numbers trap. In the next part to this video, I'm going to talk about how we use digital products and even low ticket ones to help as a stepping stone on the path to making $20,000. But in this video, I just want to hammer home how important it is that you don't depend on just selling low ticket products in order to get to that $10, $15, $20,000 per month mark, because you need such a big audience. And even then, you're still playing a very difficult numbers game. One of the reasons I'm so confident in saying this is because I have a quiz inside of our school community. It's called our 20K per month business bottleneck finder. It's completely free. When you go to sign up to claim one of your free business boosters, you'll also get a link and be able to take that. And one of the questions we ask is, do at least 10 new people discover your business every single week? And 82% of the thousands of entrepreneurs who have taken this quiz actually say no. And so even if we just do some conservative math, right? And we say, okay, let's say you get 10 new viewers per week. Most people are not even getting that many, but let's just say you get 10 per week. That's going to be 40 per month. 40 viewers per month. If we just say 0.5% of them become buyers, and I've made that 0.5% of people becoming buyers higher than what even I've gotten. Here with 15 million views, the numbers get lower, right? Same thing with 1.95 million viewers, we're at 0.14%. But even if I'm like ultra generous and I say that, okay, you're going to get 0.5% of people who discover you to actually decide to pay you, that would just be 0.2 sales per month. If you're like one of the 82% of people that's barely even getting 10 new viewers per week, that means it would take you 5 months just to get one sale. And so my question is, how much do you want that sale to be worth to you? And far too many people are working really hard to build a really big audience, but it's not even really going to pay off if you are stuck playing the low ticket game. How do I know what people are pricing their offers at? Because I ask in that same quiz. You can see here that 21% of people say less than $500. 38% of people say I haven't decided yet. Every time I talk to somebody who says I haven't decided yet, they are also usually thinking less than $500. And so what it comes down to is around 75% of people have an offer worth less than $1,500. And 59% of those people have an offer worth less than $500. And so again, we're just playing a losing game. If you make one sale every 5 months and it's worth $500, that's not going to break you free into a business that's giving you financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. But that's just the first trap, the numbers and the math of it all. And here you might be thinking, okay, well, I will raise my prices at some point in the future. I know that what I'm selling at right now isn't going to get me to 20K per month until I get a huge audience, but it's still where I want to start. And this is where people fall into the time trap, because you're kind of at a fork in the road here, and you're really making two decisions where you're thinking, okay, I either need to grow my audience or I need to raise my price. And for some reason, most people don't choose the raise your price path first. They choose the let me just work on growing my audience, and we'll talk about the reasons for that. But let's say that you go down the grow your audience path. What ends up happening is you have two options. You can grow your audience using organic content. So you can post videos like this on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, wherever you want. They're free to post. They may cost you in the time and the money it takes to film and edit and do all of those things, but they're free to post. Or you can go the paid content route, which would be paying Google or Meta to run ads to specific pieces of content, and you're literally paying to put it in front of a potential audience. But either way, those are pretty much the two paths to grow your content online, right? And as someone who loves content, okay, I love content. I'm sitting here making my own content. It's literally 10 p.m. at night because I'm just so fired up about this topic. So I love making content. And also, I make most of my living helping business owners to grow their own content. Right? So I have a YouTube agency, and my team and I help to strategize and produce content for a ton of different channels across YouTube to help those business owners grow their business. That said, content is a slow, hard game to play. It takes time and it takes a lot of effort. And this is the point of the time trap, right? So we're actually choosing something that takes a lot more time. Now, let's talk about paid ads, right? As someone who's currently spending thousands of dollars on paid ads, you can and will burn through money when you start running paid ads. I absolutely went into it expecting to lose money. And that was after I had already been making content for 5+ years in the organic route. So I knew my content was really good. It still took me time and money to figure out how to make the paid ads work, right? So here's a screenshot from our Meta ads dashboard. And you can see that this year so far, we spent 3.59K on ads in different campaigns. And so neither of these paths to grow your audience is easy. They are important, yes, and it's why I spend so much time doing it. But that is only after I have a certain level of time freedom and financial freedom so that I am able to make the content, hire people to help me. It's not the first way that I'm making money in my business, right? The first way that I'm making money in my business is not by going out and spending months and years to grow an audience just for a tiny percent of them to buy my low ticket product. That's not the thing I do right out of the gate, because most people will run out of time and money before they're able to generate the income needed to become a full-time entrepreneur if you're selling a low ticket product. And so this is a graph that I oftentimes show to those inside of our school community and the clients that I work with, is that on a graph where we think about, okay, everyone may have the same goal of reaching $10,000, but the amount of time that it takes us to get there is very, very significant. If I tell you that you have to do something to make $10,000, but it's going to take you 30 years to get that money, you probably are not going to spend 30 years willing to put in that hard work, or even have the ability to put in that hard work if you only get 10K after 30 years. If I say it's going to take you a year, which might be path number 2, then it can seem a little bit more realistic. But if it says, okay, you're going to do this and you're going to make 10K at the end of a month, which would be path number 3, a much shorter timeline, then you can see how you would be able to actually execute on that. Most people are just setting themselves up for failure, where it's going to take so long for you to reach the goal, you're just never realistically going to get there. And so when we come back to this fork in the road where we know the numbers don't really work to make as much money as we need to from low ticket, and we have the option to either grow our audience or raise our price, falling into I will grow my audience first is the more common path, but we know that it's a time trap. Why? Because of the third trap that most people fall into, which is the confidence trap. Here's a screenshot from a conversation I was actually having earlier today with someone in our school community. I've blurred out all of the things about her name or anything like that, so hopefully she doesn't mind me sharing, but she was the inspiration for this video. She said, my intention is when I have a few blank, I'm not going to tell you what she's selling, but a few things that she's selling, earning, she will start bringing on people because she will have a proof of concept. She can teach them how she did it. And at that point, she can switch to offering higher end stuff. And went on to have a little bit of a conversation about it. This indicated to me another fork in the road that I think people often hit is asking themselves one of these two questions. I know that the numbers of selling low ticket aren't going to work forever. And I know that it's going to take me time to grow an audience. So I have to make something that is worth more money actually work. But the question is either, can I really do this, right? Like, can I deliver an end result that somebody's going to pay a lot of money for, which is a absolutely worthwhile question. The other question might be, yes, I do feel confident that I can deliver this end result, but is it actually worth that high of a price? And regardless of which of these two questions you're asking yourself, it really comes back to the same thing. And it's realizing that you don't have to be a 10 out of 10 expert in the field that you're in. Because the more of an expert you feel you have to be in order to have confidence in yourself to deliver that product, in order to ask for a high price, the harder it's going to be. To give you an example, we talked about TikTok earlier. So here's a screenshot of some of our latest TikTok videos. You can see that we have 85.5K followers and a couple of videos with millions of views, dozens of videos with hundreds of thousands of views. But here's the thing. I am not actually that good of a Rubik's Cuber. I can solve in about 25 seconds on average. My fastest solve ever was like a 15-second solve. Haven't been able to beat that in a couple of weeks. But again, I'm not like a world-class Rubik's Cuber. The world record solve for Rubik's Cube is like 2.76 seconds. I'll put a video of it on screen here. But I just show you that to show that on a scale of 1 to 10, if the world record holder is a 10 out of 10, like he's the best literally in the world, I'm probably like a 4. Right? There are tons of people who can solve faster than me from my 25 seconds all the way down to the 2 seconds. But there's also a ton of people who are a 1, 2, or 3 on this scale, who have never solved a Rubik's Cube, who don't know advanced techniques, who can't solve in under 30 seconds. And I can and do absolutely help them. And so because on this channel, I'm only helping the people who are behind me on the scale of 1 to 10, that answers the first question of I have a lot of confidence that I can help them. If I was trying to help people solve in 20 seconds, which I've done every now and then, I'd be a little bit more shaky on my confidence. If I was trying to help people solve in 15 seconds, which I've done once, I don't know that even I can replicate that. I definitely can't help somebody who wants to solve in 10 or 5 seconds. But there are plenty of people who on the scale from 1 to 10 are worse than me that I can then help. And it's the same thing in your business. You don't have to be at the top. You just need to be better than those that you're trying to help. And that's going to do you a big service in helping with your confidence to offer something higher ticket. And so in a nutshell, your offer should be based on something that you can already confidently help people people achieve. And that is going to take care of the first half of the confidence issue, which is, can I really, deliver on this end result? Now, the second piece comes down to, how do you make it worth a higher ticket amount? At least $1,500. Because even if you're not selling something to get someone a 10 out of 10 result, you can still make your solution for them to get a 4 out of 10 result really, really valuable. And what it comes down to, especially in this age of AI, is whether you are selling information or you are selling a transformation. And you can probably imagine that with all the access we all have to AI, information is becoming far and far less valuable, which in turn is making transformation far more valuable. And so I want you to think about, if you wanted your kid to learn how to swim, right? You could buy them a book on how to swim, which would be information, or you can get them swim lessons, and that would be transformation. And we all inherently know that transformation is just much more valuable, especially, like I said, in the age of AI, when more information is out there than we could ever consume. What people really care is not about the information you give them, but the end result that they get. They care about the transformation. And so you can think about an informational offer is one that gives someone a few pieces of the puzzle to help them get there. If you give them a lot of information, you might even be giving them every piece of the puzzle, but you are still just handing it to them, and they then have to go and do it and make it work for themselves. But a transformational offer is a special type of offer that nearly completes the puzzle for them as much as you possibly can, right? The swim coach getting in the water gives you much more confidence that your kid will actually learn how to swim, even though your kid has to do some of the things for themselves. There's a big difference between the swim coach giving them a book and the swim coach getting in the water. One is information, one is transformation. So how do you create this type of transformational offer? It's simple. You include high value elements. These high value elements are going to increase the confidence that someone has in your offer, getting them a transformation, and also increase the amount that they are willing to pay for it. So many of us are trying to get around spending time with the people that we want to help. And I understand this because we're all in this for a certain level of not just financial freedom, but also time freedom, location freedom, passive income. But until you, one, break free and have enough income to hire and build out passive things, staying stuck trying to sell something for so cheap just so that you don't have to spend time talking to your client is a way that all of your time gets spent trying to find clients in the first place. And then you have no clients and you have no money. It's just not a good deal. Okay. So time with you is important. You can always stop once you have the money to do it, but you got to make the money first. Another high value element is done for you. If there is a certain piece of the process that you can do for your clients, it's going to make your offer much more valuable. Think about the swim lessons. If you can provide the floaties, if you can provide the swim cap, if you can do anything possible in order to take it off of the plate of your client, then you should absolutely do that. For example, in my YouTube agency, we don't teach our clients how to edit or how to make thumbnails, right? We don't give them information. We just do it for them. There is a done for you element towards working with us, and that makes the offer much more high value. Of course, there's things that we can't do for them, like be on camera. And in that case, we give them information. We have digital products that are a part of our service that help them to improve on camera. But we also make this offer more valuable by doing the things that we can for them. Also, in terms of information, less information, but the right information is better. I see so many people who say like, oh, you can get access to every coaching call that I've ever done for every single week for the past 5 years. I don't want to come to one of your coaching calls. I don't want to watch like 500 of them. All of the information in the world is out there to get. People aren't looking for information. They're looking for the right information in the right order. And so if your offer can do that and say, hey, you actually don't have to spend 20 hours a week on this. You can spend 2 hours a week on this because I'm only going to tell you to do the absolute best things that you need to do. And the other stuff, I'm just going to do it for you. And I spelled information wrong there, but you get the point. And so the final thing that makes a transformational offer different than an information offer is a clear, valuable outcome. We want to focus on who will they be afterwards, not just what will they learn, right? I want to tell them, oh, you're going to learn the breaststroke, you're going to learn the free stroke, you're going to learn how to float. No, your kid is going to be someone who can confidently swim, float in water so that they can have fun with their friends. And if they ever find themselves in trouble, they'll be able to get out of a body of water and not have a tragic accident. Right? That is a transformation that is so much more valuable than, oh yeah, they're going to learn the breaststroke. Right? Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. Okay. All right. So if you want to build your own transformational offer, I break it down completely in our Financial Freedom Masterclass. And remember, when you show up live to that, you get your choice of one of our 4 business booster courses for free and one one lucky person will win all 4 of those business boosters for free, but you have to be on that call live. So there's a link beneath this video. You can head over to the About page for our school community, sign up for free. When you do, we're going to send you an email and ask you to pick which of the 4 business boosters that you want. And then once you make your selection, we'll see you at that Financial Freedom Masterclass, where we help you design your own transformational offer, send you your business booster for free. And like I said, one lucky person will win all 4. And hey, it might be you. So link is beneath this video. I will see you there. And as always, thanks for watching.